Hi everybody. I'm gonna do a video on how I do the wiggle fish exercise. I've done it twice, and I basically just do it how I read it on the article. Um, it reminds me a little bit of dancing, as I've said on the chat. I've done it before, in a little bit of a different way when I was a child. When I used to be laying on the ground, watching TV or whatever I was doing. Done it before many times, so haven't done it really as an adult. But it reminds me of dancing to an extent. I did some dancing today as well, so I guess I'll get into that. I was gonna say something else that was what's his name? Letting the author of Letting Go. It's really interesting. It's a really good read or listen because I'm listening to it. I think I got the basic premise of the book. I still have 10 hours left, so I'm wondering what else he could possibly say for 10 whole hours that didn't get said in the first 2 hours, because the first 2 hours are very, very good. But I'll continue to listen. It's going to take me some time. Um, as far as my progress with the healing and restoration of my root and sacral chakras, my lower chakras, it's going very well. And I can tell when it's healing or when things are happening because of the way my hips feel. And when I have increased physical ability or physical talents, such as increased coordination. So, yeah, I'm good. I have good hand-eye coordination, for the most part to begin with, but it felt a little bit better. Um, and I can judge that easily by I'm gonna go play basketball probably today, see how much better I am on the court. But at work, I do a lot of climbing on all types of stuff, climbing on everything um, in construction. So it's a physical job, and it requires hand-eye coordination, a specific kind of hand-eye coordination. It doesn't require an athletic sports type of hand-eye coordination, but more of a practical working hand-eye coordination. And I feel that is improving the last couple days. I have increased hip mobility. Um, I'm gonna do some hip strengthening exercises today as well. Go to the YMCA. Um, Increased concentration. I said that on the chat. My concentration, particularly at work, when I'm doing my work, I can focus on what I'm doing, and I'm all the way in. I want to be there. A lot of people, we sometimes we are at work, or we've had jobs where we didn't want to be there. But I actually want to be there, and I actually enjoy doing whatever it is that I'm doing, which is great. Which is great because it's terrible to hate what you do every day. It's a terrible existence, right? Um, I add in the pushing down to the wiggle fish. I do it kind of in between. You can. I actually started doing it at the same time, and that'll come with practice. Be able to do it at the same time, and that helps. Um, well, another key in life is understanding what you need to focus on. So I don't need to focus so much on the spiritual side of things, meditation and stuff like that. Yeah, I do it, and it's great for me. But my focus in my life currently, is more on the side of physicality and actually doing things, daily activities that are important, such as cleaning up, keeping my hygiene proper, um, taking care of all of the little things that we need to take care of every day, like making sure our transportation, our cars are running properly, and um, you know, mowing the yard and doing hands-on work, learning how to do carpentry and do different things that are hands-on, and how to build certain things. And that's the focus that my life is more It's going to bring more balance to my life. Um, if we look at our astrological charts, and I can look at your numbers, I can put your numbers into the any astrology website, and it'll pull up all your chart basically, and I can tell you a lot of good things about yourself that you need to understand. And one of the things that I have to understand is that my south node is in my 12th house. My north node is in my 6th house. So that means in previous incarnations, I was a very spiritual person, and I already reached a certain level of spiritual attainment when it comes to, you know, your psychic ability and all different spiritual gifts and stuff that we have, gifts of healing and things like that. So I don't need to focus as much on that in this lifetime. My north node is what I need to focus on, which is my 6th house, which is also in the realm of healing. It's more in practical health, strength in my physical body, healing myself, and then of course healing others. The 6th house has to do with taking care of responsibilities, building, with working, and all those things that I'm focused on in life. You know, because I've got a good understanding of my chart. All right, so I don't spend a lot of time in the ether field anymore. You know, of course I did that as a younger person, and it didn't do me very well. It started to make me lose control of reality in my mind. It made my mind very unstable for me to focus on things that are not visible. I need to focus on the visible. And the more that you work your north node, the more your south node powers will start to come into play. So the more I focus on my actual physical achievements in this world, achieving certain goals, putting things step by step, building, physically building, whether it be businesses, whether it be, you know, me building my own house or building a shed or build whatever the case may be, building an engine, building a vehicle, whatever. Those are the things that I need to do. And the more that I focus on my north node, the more that my south node in the 12th house will start to reveal the gifts that are deep within me. Like I've talked about, the spiritual gifts that I feel that I'm starting to develop, such as healing. It's always been in me, the ability to heal other people. But now that I'm more focused on my north node, I'm focused on what my path, my mission is in this life, or what I've got my priorities in line. Those gifts are starting to reveal themselves and they're starting to work. So I can start perfecting those gifts over time. But keep everything in perspective. And I still do charts. I still do readings for people as far as numerology and astrology goes. It's just a little, I don't really market it a lot or anything like that because I'm so busy at work and construction that, it kind of takes a lot of my energy. But at some point in time, I'm going to get back on it pretty heavily, in addition to teaching, nutritional balancing classes and courses and things like that, working with, what's his name? I forgot his name. But the guy with the forum, working with him and doing my own speaking and just spreading the knowledge and the wisdom that I have attained. Knowledge is knowledge, but it becomes wisdom when you are able to apply it to your own life. That's when it becomes wisdom, because we all know what we should do, but applying it to our lives is the difficult part. Forgiving, we know we should forgive, but actually doing it is another story. You have to actually do it. So, without further ado, I don't know how good you're going to be able to see me. It's going to be difficult to... Hold on. Let's see if I can... The moment you've all been waiting for. I have to set the phone up the right way. Alright. So basically, you're laying down, and you're just you know just going like this, really. And it's supposed to be 1 revolution a second, so boom, boom, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So, I mean, I'll do it. I don't know how good you can see it, but it's not a big movement. You move your head a little bit. And you get a nice little rhythm. You get a nice little rhythm going. And, you feel your spine. You feel your spine going like this. It's not big movements or anything like that, but that's it. You know what I mean? I started doing it standing up. I was like, So anyway, that's it, my friends. Oh, let me show you what I'm gonna eat. This is a monstrosity. I haven't eaten all day. I haven't eaten all day, right? And so I've got a lamb chop or whatever that is, and I got sardines, okay? And I've got a plate full of vegetables, and I'm going to literally devour this whole thing. I told you guys my appetite is increasing. I mean, when I say I eat 3-4 full course meals a day, most of the time I eat 3 full course meals a day. You know what I mean? If not 2, but they're like this big, huge, right? But I enjoy it, and I chew my supplements, guys. Every now and then, if you've been on a program, sometimes you just get nausea when you swallow them. But I chew them, been chewing them for months, and never had any nausea. So I do it that way. I do the hydrogen peroxide, genital bath, whatever. The coffee wrap, coffee penile wrap. The cold water genital bath. All those things for my lower chakras. Because my higher chakras, my crown chakra is highly developed. I think I came into this world with a propensity to have a crown chakra that was easily developed. But if you don't develop your root and your lower chakras, and you're only focused on the ethers, you're only focused on your third eye and your crown chakra, and you have not established and healed and strengthened your lower chakras, then the crown is going to be messed up. You're going to be receiving information from sources that don't have your best interest at heart. So a lot of children, they have nightmares and stuff like that. Some of them have spiritual issues because their upper chakras are opened, but their lower ones are not functioning properly. So, currently I don't really worry about, I don't focus too much on the upper chakras, because I believe those are pretty good for me right now. I think my throat chakra is functioning pretty well. I think my third eye and my crown chakra are all functioning well. And judging from the symptoms and stuff like that I've had my whole life, I know that my root and sacral and the solar plexus are the areas of focus that I need to really pay attention to and develop. And then once those are developed to a certain point, it'll really activate and open up my higher chakras. And some of my gifts and talents, in the areas of spirituality and psychic and intuition and telepathy and clairvoyance and clairaudience, those things will start to open up even more and I really be able to control them and use them. You know, at this time, I really can't. Um, I don't fully. I'm not fully aware of the gifts that I have. But they do come into focus and they do come into play when I need them. But they're random. It's not something that I really can control. And they're not very powerful yet. They're there, but they're not powerful enough to where I'm confident that I can pray for this person or speak to this person and their diabetes or whatever is going to go away. I want to get to that point. Like how in the Bible, Jesus Christ told us that things that we do, we're going to do greater things than he did. And some people think that the story of Christ is just allegorical and metaphorical and things like that, but I don't believe so. I think it was literal. I think he was literally healing people, raising people from the dead, and those types of things. And people explain that away because they can't do it. So they don't think anybody else in history was able to do it. I believe he was able to do it. And there will be people that walk around this earth that will be able to do the same things and greater. So that's what I'm pushing for, but I know I have to start at the foundation. I have to start at the root. Can't start at the crown because it'll end up just driving me crazy. And you don't want to bust open your Kundalini prematurely. So anyway, y'all have a good day. I'll talk to y'all later.